ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवतसेवया भगवतीरुत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी। मम ज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिन्निति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादि पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। Okay, so we started the very important sequence of verses yesterday. The first one was about how Sri Narada Muni got mercy from those devotees. And we also understood mm, that he developed some very important good qualities before initiation. He had some good qualities before as before itself, but then once he came in touch with the devotees, etc., he developed more good qualities. Before initiation, he had many good qualities. Um, Few of them were uh, he, he was disciplined. Then he was not attached to mundane sports. He was not used to speaking more than required. So we discussed discipline. So Prabhupada says discipline, fully obedient, serious and sincere. Right. So these are very important qualities for us if we want to make progress, serious progress in Krishna consciousness. Otherwise, no one can become successful um, without being disciplined, without being fully obedient. No one can become successful in following the instructions of the spiritual master. And without following the instructions of the spiritual master, there is no way we can go back home, back to Godhead. So this was, and Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says that in this verse, we understand the first few stages of bhakti, Adava Shraddha, Tata Sadhu Sangha, Bhajana Kriya. Right. So there is no pre-qualification required for bhakti. But once we come in contact with devotees, once we start bhajana kriya, that we have to develop certain qualities which are more favorable. So today we're going to discuss one more very, very important, again, very important aspect of bhakti, how we can make progress. 1.5.25. उच्चिष्टलेपान् अनुमोदितो द्विजैः सकृत्स्म भुञ्जे तदपास्तकिल्बिषः एवं प्रवृत्तस्य विशुद्धचेतसस् तद्धर्म एवात्मरुचि प्रजायते. Very, very important. I'm sure many of us here would have experienced this. Once only, by their permission, I took the remnants of their food, and by so doing, all my sins were at once eradicated. Thus, being engaged, I became purified in heart. And at that time, the very nature of the transcendentalists became attractive to me. Beautiful verse. Hmm? I'm reading it again. Once only. Doesn't require to be done multiple times. Once only. By their permission, yeah, Prabhupada says in the purport, can without permission also sometimes can be taken. Hmm. I took the remnants of their food, Uchista. So Krishna in Bhagavad Gita talks about food in the mode of ignorance, and in that is he says this Uchista is mode of ignorance. Hmm. And that Uchista of non-pure devotees is ignorance. Okay, but the remnants of food of pure devotees is completely surcharged, empowered with their qualities. And so, just by taking the remnants of their food once, all sins were at once eradicated. Now, beauty is because Narada Muni is seeing his previous life. He is able to clearly say that, I took the remnants, all my sins were at once eradicated. We might not be able to completely be very clearly decipher this in our life, but we should have the faith that this will hold true for us as well. Mm. So somehow we should try to get the opportunity to take remnants of food of pure devotees, because that food is has no contamination. It doesn't belong to this material world at all. First of all, because a pure devotee is honoring that Lord would have given special mercy. Mm. So when we consume that, it is undiluted mercy. Uh, so all our sins will get eradicated. So what Krishna is saying, Bhagavad Gita, Sarva Dharman Parityaja, all that is not required. Simple shortcut. Just somehow take remnants of food of pure devotees. All that Sarva Papebhyo Mokshayashyami will happen automatically. Now, what happens to us when we do that actually, right? When we actually honor that Maha Prasadam, what happens? Thus being engaged, meaning I took the remnants, I became purified in heart. And what is the sign of that purification? Is that the very nature of the transcendentalist became attractive to me. Meaning, we become purified to such an extent that when we look at devotees, we get attracted towards them. We want to become like them. We want to reach their stage of purity. We want to develop that kind of a relationship with Krishna. That change in heart happens simply by taking remnants. Prabhupada writes a very short but very powerful purport. He says pure devotion is as much infectious, in a good sense, as infectious diseases. In Bhagavad Gita also Prabhupada says that we should get infected by the pure devotee. We should get infected. Pure devotee is cleared from all kinds of sins. Who is a pure devotee? One who is cleared from all kinds of sins. And of course we know pure devotee means anya vilashita shunyam jnana karma dhanavritam. Ana avritam. She is not covered by gnana and karma. So he is cleared from all kinds of sin as well. The personality of Godhead is the purest entity, and unless one is equally pure from the infection of material qualities, one cannot become a pure devotee of the Lord. So when we call somebody a pure devotee of the Lord, that means that he is also equally pure from the infection of material qualities. What are the what can we list infection of material qualities? What are the things that manifest in that can be seen in non-pure devotees, which doesn't exist in pure devotees? What are these infection? What is this infection?
Too much attachment to material things, bro,
Okay, too much attachment to material things. Then
and trying to lord over
lord over. Okay,
sense gratification like that.
yeah, lording over. Too much attachment to material things. Then
Like Kama, Lobha, Moha, Mada, Matsara. That point.
yeah, all of that will not be there. None of the Arishad Varga as they are called. So these six anarthas, which will not be there. Yeah, so we know, right? So there are so many qualities. So one has to be completely pure, and of course, he has no sense of false ego, right? He has no ownership. So Krishna in Bhagavad Gita, 12th chapter, he describes the beautiful qualities of pure devotees. Right? So No false sense of proprietorship, uh, no false ego, no attachment to material things. He simply knows that his position is that he is a servant of Krishna. And he 100% of the time, in all situations, he is on that platform. He doesn't forget that platform even for a moment. For us, it is the other way around. Once in a while, actually, I was reading this. His Grace Dinabandhu Prabhu was in our temple recently, and there's a Rajalila Part 2 book. So I was reading in that. And Prabhu is saying, just imagine his humility. He's saying that, he, most of the times, we're just thinking about so many things, but maybe once or twice in a day we think about Krishna. It's definitely not true for him, but it's absolutely true for us, right? Once or twice in a day, including our chanting time. We are so fallen that we don't even think about Krishna when we are chanting, when we are taking his name, let alone the rest of the day. Right? So we are full of material infection, and pure devotees are completely devoid of material infection, right? And since the Lord is pure, his pure devotee is also equally pure. Otherwise, he cannot become a pure devotee, right? The Bhakti Vedantas, as above mentioned, were pure devotees, and the boy became infected with their qualities of purity by their association. So, two ways to get infected: one is association, and other by eating once the remnants of the foodstuff taken by them. Eating once. So, both the things are important. Association is also very powerful. Bhagavatam also says even Ganga can purify after repeated usage, repeated association. But sadhu, even by lavamatra sadhu sangha, even a little association is very, very powerful. As I always tell, I've told before also that when any of the pure devotees are here, uh, senior Vaishnavas are here, when we get opportunity to physical Vapu Seva, make sure that we can do some service. Dinabandhu Prabhu was here, and um my wife got the opportunity to do cooking for him one day, and I was not actually that day. I had something else, and I was not in a position to go. But then somehow I just felt, no, no, no. How can we not? Let me at least try. And then by Krishna's mercy, I was able to go there. I was able to serve. And guess what? We got the Mahaprasadam, right? So we should not think that it's trivial, especially those who might have the opportunity to associate with such senior devotees more often. We should not think that, oh, yeah, okay, that's fine. No, just once, just once. Uh, and simply what we have to do, we have to just sit around them without opening our frog-like mouth. Because if we open our mouth, then we'll keep talking. Most of it will be about ourselves only. Right? So we better keep quiet and simply soak in their purity. We have to soak in their purity. And how do we experience their purity? Just by being around them. Simply by being around them, doing some service, or even simply hearing, simply hearing. Prabhupada so mercifully actually has given us a program which enables us to do this every time we are in the temple, right? Which is why we should have this serious program about inviting, really exalted Vaishnavas, uh, many exalted Vaishnavas, not just popular speakers. Maybe they are also okay, but exalted Vaishnavas who sacrifice their life for Krishna, who shown time and again how to be in pure Krishna consciousness, pure devotion. Such great devotees who spend their whole life doing book distribution for Srila Prabhupada, maybe. Right? So we should invite such devotees who sacrifice their lives for Krishna. And then by their association, all our contamination can be destroyed. So Prabhupada is saying such remnants may be taken even without permission. Even without permission, yeah, it's not required. Permission is not required. Now we know in Chaitanya Charitamrita there used to be one devotee who used to always, he used to go to every house, every Vaishnava's house, and somehow his whole business is to just get remnants. There are sometimes pseudo devotees. One should be very much cautious about them. There are many things which hinder one from entering devotional service. See, entering devotional service. So we should understand we have not entered a devotional service, meaning pure devotional service. But by the association of pure devotees, all these obstacles are removed. Again, we have to note this word association. Association means Shravanam, mm, not talking. If we keep talking in front of pure devotees, then we cannot do Shravanam. Right? So we have to hear, we have to hear very attentively. And but by that association, all obstacles are removed. This can be experienced, I'm sure. I mean, after this purport, I'll let devotees speak. And you, all of you, can please share your realizations about this. Association of pure devotees, how obstacles are removed, eating remnants, how purity comes into our heart. The neophyte devotee becomes practically enriched with transcendental qualities of the pure devotee, which means attraction for the personality of God's name, fame, qualities, pastimes, etc. This is the result. When here it says that very nature of the transcendentalist became attractive, it also means we are attracted by what that pure devotee does, which is constantly glorifying the name, fame, qualities, pastimes of the Lord. We get attracted by that. Infection of the qualities of the pure devotee means to imbibe the taste of pure devotion, always in the transcendental activities of the personality of Godhead. See, how can we avoid this? My question is, in in institution like ISKCON, where all our spiritual masters are all pure devotees, how can we escape this? How can we escape imbibing the taste of pure devotion? Anybody wants to answer? So it's a very simple thing, right? So if you associate with pure devotees, if you have their remnants, then we will imbibe the taste of pure devotion. We'll develop attraction for Lord's name, fame, qualities, pastimes, etc. Which means automatically attraction for material life and things have to reduce. Now, my question is, why is it or how is it that we are avoiding this infection? We are avoiding this infection like it's bad. It's not bad, it's good. But looks like many of us are avoiding this infection of pure devotion. What is the reason? What is the reason we are avoiding to get infected? Anybody?
So I think we still fear surrendering fully. That's the reason.
Okay. Still fear surrendering fully. Okay. What is that actually? What is that fear?
No,
Just
I
to
mean, if anyone tries to avoid this, then he might fear that
no, no, but
the
what is that fear? Huh?
the fear of getting deprived of whatever is the position today in material world.
No, but that's not even philosophically correct.
Yeah, yeah.
That's not even philosophically correct. As in, nobody is saying that we will have to, be deprived of anything. Krishna is saying yoga kshemam vahamyam. So where is
Mm.
the fear? Unfounded, baseless.
Yeah.
Okay, so wrong philosophy. Then what are the reasons we are actually not wanting to imbibe get infected? Yeah, Raju Prabhu.
I mean, many times opportunity will be there, but we are lazy enough to go
We are
and think
lazy.
of, yeah.
We are lazy. Yeah, many
And
of
due
us are
to
lazy.
our pride, ahankara,
Yeah.
Sometimes we will differentiate, and among the pure devotees only, we will stick on to the boundary. Like I will hear from this devotee only, like that.
Hmm. Yeah, so a lot of things that we do actually is somewhat what should I say? I mean, it's like it's baseless first thing. It doesn't have any basis in clear philosophy. It's some kind of mental speculation that we do. Right? Like you're saying that, we first of all we can't recognize who are pure devotees. Um, that's a big problem. We get attracted by external presence, external presentation. External presentation is not important, right? Internals are important. And how do we understand internals? By how they have lived their life, but how they are living their life. So we have to be not be we should not be foolish enough to avoid, or to be away from association of pure devotees, irrespective of where we stay, how far we are, etc., etc. Right? Because it's very, very important. It's priceless. This infection is priceless. And it will actually, it's like this. The little endeavor that we might do, we might put to go and get their association, actually, that little effort will help us overcome so many obstacles, which can be big in front of us, and overcoming them will require a lot more effort from us. But just by getting that association, just by getting infected, all these other obstacles which would have subsequently given us trouble will stop giving us trouble. So it's one effort compared to multiple efforts we'll have to put to actually make progress. It's a very intelligent thing to actually get association of pure devotees. And yeah, definitely, if we can get their remnants, nothing like it. Mm. So we should imbibe there. It's very difficult actually to avoid this. Because there are sufficient pure devotees. There is also a lot of, I hear, some many times people have come and told me this, saying that apparently there are only few pure devotees in ISKCON, or not every guru is a pure devotee. All this is sadhu ninda, you know, some craziness, and that people think that only some few handful of, or one or two people are only great pure devotees in ISKCON. Everybody else is like fallen. Uh, right? So some very offensive attitude people have. So this is all not correct. We should understand clearly. Sadhu means who, right? So it's important, and we should not hold ourselves back. We should get this opportunity to get their mercy, and then we'll get infected by pure devotion. And once we get infected by pure devotion, then nothing can stop us. See, this transcendental taste at once makes all material things distasteful. This is another major problem. We have like almost like a propaganda, like devotees behind us, if we are becoming distasteful about material life. Like they're coming behind us saying that why are you becoming distasteful about material life? This is not the time and age. This is not the age for that. I mean, and Prabhupada is saying that, yeah, I mean, zillion times in his purports, he said that we should not be attached to material things. And when actually something like that is manifesting in one devotee's life, there are people standing behind us telling, hey, no, 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 don't do this. It's not good for you. It's all over transcendental, So this is another big thing, actually. What is the difference between transcendental and over transcendental? Can somebody say? Can somebody define this? So basically, let me just make it clear, right? Some people come and say, assume we are losing taste for material things. People come and say, don't be overly transcendental. Take it easy. Take it easy. Like, what is this? Why are devotees saying this, right? And what is really being over transcendental? Is there anything like being over transcendental? If so, what is it?
Yeah, I think they are also the fear, Prabhu, right? That we might lose our social position. So not having the complete faith in the Shastra that everything will be maintained by Lord. and still your enthusiasm should keep on increasing. But they try to regulate the enthusiasm to certain level and don't try to go beyond that, so that if it becomes uncontrolled, what will happen to their families?
So
Something like that.
whose mindset is being reflected here? Of the person who lost material taste, or the those devotees who are telling us not to lose that taste?
Yeah, I think the devotees who are telling not to lose taste.
So it's very, very clear, like we have to be very clear about what kind of association we get into,
Yeah.
right? It's a very simple thing saying that what is okay. Can somebody define what is over transcendental? Okay, what is over endeavor? So there are two things, there are two concepts. There's endeavor, there's over endeavor. Similarly, you can say there's being transcendental and being overly transcendental. So can somebody define what these mean? What is endeavor and over endeavor? I use this endeavor and over endeavor more in the material sense. So what is endeavor and what is over endeavor on material platform, and what is transcendental, what is overly transcendental?
Endeavor means trying to do duty to get something
Hmm.
in a regulated way, and over endeavor is like trying to be behind that thing, even if that thing is not achievable
Yeah,
repeatedly.
achievable or not, trying too much.
Yeah,
Trying
trying
too
to.
much to such an extent that that itself becomes our consciousness. Our
Yeah,
consciousness gets replaced by something, then we are over endeavoring,
yeah.
right? On a material platform. Now, what is overly transcendental? Anybody? Have you heard Prabhupada any time saying, don't be overly transcendental? Now, what is overly transcendental? There's nothing like overly transcendental. Yeah, Raja
Correct.
Prabhu. Yeah.
So, mm, thinking uh, every second or every minute how to serve the Lord, and in what way uh, he can, I mean, thinking always within himself, to become better devotee of the Lord, or how to serve the Lord.
Hmm.
Uh, Prabhu.
Yeah, but my point is there something like overly transcendental? Over means too much.
No, it's not like it's nowhere it is there overly transcendental. But I mean, devotees nowadays will say like that, Prabhu.
Yeah. So we should understand there's nothing like overly transcendental. Actually, this is transcendental. Transcendental means manmanabhava madbhakto. Krishna is saying, not saying that, yeah, whenever once in a while think about me. And we have to anyway come to this platform thinking about Krishna every time. No, if we are thinking about Krishna all the time and thinking of serving Hari Guru Vaishnavas, what is the concern? What is the concern? And this is pure devotion. And by that, automatically material things will become distasteful. Of course, the only thing to look out for is immaturity. Is immaturity, right? We've discussed this before also. We should not be immature in terms of what we are trying to do. So, which means that we should have proper guidance. That's all, right? As long as we have proper guidance. Now, who is the person who can guide us? Who should also be on the transcendental platform? Who should also be on the path of pure devotion? Who believes that actually life sooner than later, not later, sooner, meaning as early as possible, we become more attached to the transcendental taste is better. So somebody who believes firmly in that should be our guide to make sure that we don't, you know, lose our path, or we don't do things whimsically. Like Prabhupada uses this word whimsically multiple times in Bhagavad Gita. We should not act whimsically. But apart from that, there's nothing like being over transcendent, overly transcendental, right? And developing a material distaste is absolutely fine. And we should understand material distaste doesn't mean we are running away from things. Material distaste just means that we don't have a taste from it, but we'll absolutely do it till the time it is required as our duty, right? And it is not a stone kind of approach. Um, because whenever we say this, immediate reaction is, oh, what will happen to family life? Nothing will happen to family life. Prabhupada actually says in Bhagavad Gita in one of the purports, saying it's natural to have affection towards family. It's okay to have affection, but look at them as spirit souls. Then we will have affection not only to our family, to the whole. Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, right? To whole world we will have affection. And we should not be worried about this. We should not be worried saying that, oh, what if my material, what will happen? What can happen to our material life? Mm. It's already pulling us down to hell somewhere, right? So anything that prevents us that from happening is a mercy, is a boon, right? So we should never ever shy away from coming to this state of material distaste. I mean, and we are not focusing on becoming materially distasteful. We are focusing on developing transcendental taste. See, this is the difference between Gnani and Bhakta. A Gnani is trying to develop this material distaste. I don't want this. I should not eat this. I should not do this. I should. We are not in that business. Our business is to develop transcendental taste. Get attracted to the very nature of a pure transcendentalist, to the glorification of Lord's name, fame, qualities, past and. When it happens automatically, like Prabhupada is saying, at once, makes all material things distasteful. Therefore, a pure devotee is not at all attracted by material qualities. After the elimination of all sins or obstacles on the path of devotional service, one can become attracted, one can have steadiness, one can have perfect taste, one can have transcendental emotions, and at last one can be situated on the plane of loving service to the Lord. So, what is Prabhupada talking about? This line, somebody wants to, can you recognize the Sanskrit behind this? What is the Sanskrit behind this sentence? Meaning, what is the underlying philosophy that Prabhupada is talking about? Anartha
Anartha nivritti.
nivritti
Yeah.
and so on, right? Anartha nivritti, steadiness, nishtha, then ruchi, perfect taste, asakti has come here, uh, then bhava, and then prema. All these stages developed by the association of pure devotees, and this is the purport of this stanza. So just imagine how powerful this is, how powerful this pure devotee association is. Mm. So we should always try to get this association of pure devotees. We should always try to get their remnants.
Prabhuji,
This
one
is the way
question.
to make progress. Yeah.
So this overly transcendental actually can also be understood in that way, right? That there is no end because transcendental
Yeah.
feelings are unlimited. So even
Yeah.
if one tries to be overly transcendental, that is going into the depth of bhakti only. So it
Yeah,
is,
yeah. That's why I said there's, yeah, absolutely. That's the other way of putting it. Saying that there's nothing like over. It's not over at all. It's never over.
yeah. Yes, Prabhu.
Yeah. So, yeah. Okay. Yeah, Anukul Prabhu, please. You don't have to
Well,
raise your hand. You can please speak.
no, but oh, I just maybe running to so many different mind also. I'll one question. Association with pure devotee. So many devotees of Prabhupada disciples, senior disciples, had a lot of association with Prabhupada.
Mm.
They taken his remnants also, their third person also. And that time when they were in movement,
Mm.
and they were serving nicely. But so many stalwarts
Mm.
fell down also.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So what was the reason of that?
Yeah, actually, very, very interesting question. Yeah, anybody wants to share any views?
Because now everybody must be knowing on internet, so it must be today or not tomorrow. It will question arise to everybody's mind in class. Actually, can I
Yeah,
just
yeah, yeah. So, anybody wants to share any thoughts?
Yeah, not sure, Prabhu, if this is the right answer to Prabhu's question.
Mm.
Uh, Actually, that is not a fall down. That's a temporary withdrawing away from the line of bhakti path. But Lord is still taking care of them, and at some point of time, Lord will bring him back, bring them back. Because Krishna also says that even if after following the devotional path, somebody temporarily goes away, that is not a fall down. It is
Hmm.
like over a due course of time, that revival will happen. Is that the answer?
Oh, no, no. Yeah, that's what you're thinking. Okay. Anybody else? Any other views, thoughts?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Maybe like sometimes like how we fall down from Goloka, we're trying to become equal, or we try to like we try, we think we become the lords. We're trying in the material world. We're trying to uh, lord over material this thing. Over there, when they're coming into the spiritual world, I think that instead of becoming humble, sometimes Maya becomes so strong that they want to. They try to lord it over. They lord it over what actually, and then they get trapped again into the Maya, and the ego starts coming up again. That could be one of the reasons. What bhakti they've done will not get destroyed, like as Prabhu said. But the downfall could be, your sadhana, yeah, your ego again. Maya is so strong, Prabhu. Like even Narada, they come into despondency sometimes, or like you get entrapped. Like even Narada Muni
Sorry, I got disconnected.
got entrapped. Even Garuda got entrapped. So Prabhu, we are material soul. Jealousy with your guru.
Oops.
Like all these very fine things which we don't realize, Prabhu. I don't know, like I don't know if I'm able to make the point across.
Hare Krishna. Am I
Hare Krishna,
audible?
Prabhuji.
Yeah. Sorry, I
Yeah.
got
Yes.
disconnected, I think. Yeah, so Mataji, you were saying something?
Yes. Yes,
Oh, my internet seems
yes,
very bad.
Prabhuji. Your jealousy with your guru, or you get a bit despondent, or the Maya is becoming so strong.
Mm-hmm.
Like even sometimes you see in Bhagavatam, the Narad Muni also gets despondent, and you try to say, oh, is he? The reason the claws of Maya are so strong, Prabhu. Like there could be a slip anytime. You have to be very, very careful, and your sadhana has to be very perfect.
Okay. Yeah. So what came to my mind when Prabhu asked this question is actually two things. One is um, sentimental relationship with Guru, right? There's one thing that comes to my mind because actually Prabhupada was very merciful with, and he gave like so many, maybe, not really qualified people, etc. But that point of time, there was very less Vani association also of Prabhupada, right? So and mostly again, Prabhupada had his view, he wanted to spread the movement all over the world, etc. So many devotees, maybe they were not in good standing with respect to their own sadhana, right? Because it's like even Chota Haridas even fell down in the association of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, right? So we should understand one thing that we always have this freedom to fall down, right? Like Mataji was saying, yeah, we are so crazy that we can fall down. But if somebody is sincere, somebody is surrendered, and the surrendered means that is why this whole Vani surrender is very, very important. Because it's not Vapu surrender. Vapu surrender, what will happen post that person leaves the face of the earth? People fall down. So nobody fell down when Srila Prabhupada, yeah, one here and there, some rare cases of people falling down, right? But post Srila Prabhupada leaving this, disappearing from this material world, lot more fall downs happened. That is simply because of not being attached to Vani. Because Prabhupada always said that I'm there in my books, right? How can if we think that physical association is different from Vani association, then there are chances of us falling down. If we never fell down when that person was there, manifest on earth, which means that it was just a Vapu relationship, and especially with somebody like Srila Prabhupada who's traveling constantly, which basically just means that maybe it was too much on the sentimental platform, right? And this is a big danger. And this is a big danger that we foresee even in the future, right? Um, Now soon time will come when many of these exalted Vaishnavas, right, they might wind down their pastimes in this material world. Mm. And it actually is very frightening to think about what will happen. Mm. Because the attachment to Vani is very, very less. People are not hearing Prabhupada, people are not reading Prabhupada, people are not hearing to their Guru Maharaj. So it's a very, very, and that is the only reason why somebody can fall down when he had not fallen down before, right? If somebody has not fallen down before and after, meaning a certain guru was there and then he was not there, and then that resulted in multiple fall downs. So one is that if Vani is not, if our Shravanam Kirtanam is not paka, if our sadhana is not paka, if for any reason we start thinking that I've become wholly transcendent, like I've really made progress now, I don't need this Shravanam Kirtanam, then obviously at any level, devotees will fall down. Bharat Maharaj is a classic example of that, right?
Can I
So,
add something too here?
yeah, yes, please, Prabhu.
Because I heard from so many senior devotees used to stay with me earlier in Vrindavan also.
Mm,
One or two very senior devotees fall down because they started imitating Prabhupada.
mm,
As soon as Prabhupada left, and they tried to control ISKCON, feeling, okay, I am Prabhupada and everybody should follow me.
okay,
And two
okay.
of some senior fanned his desire actually.
Yeah, I mean, that is another, yeah,
That
yeah.
is the most danger. They start feeling him Guru and
Mm,
started taking his Uchista,
yeah.
Shinasi, keeping him in a very, very high platform. Okay, yes, he is the next Prabhupada actually.
Oh, yeah, okay, yeah.
Because
Yeah,
few senior devotees will fall down after doing so much service.
yeah, yeah.
Krishna spare anybody. In Vrindavan, I heard he was very Prabhupada disciple, very tall, 6.5 feet, and he's kind of very built body. He that Ganpati Prabhu, the humanizer is now Vrindavan
Mm-hmm.
he told me we used to sit and hear from old Prabhupada. But when he used to stay and come, but he used to shout from the fifth floor, and
Mm,
whole building of temple and guest house you used to shake, and everybody used to run to his room.
mm-hmm.
When he left the Brindavan, well, nobody was there to help. Night 12 o'clock, he himself two big suitcases kept in hand, and that time there was no lift, and he came down and took in bus or went away night 12 o'clock actually.
Yeah, I mean, that would all be
Offense,
offenses, yeah.
offense Krishna does not spare to anybody actually.
Yeah,
Whatever
yeah,
big you devotee are there actually.
yeah. Offenses, yeah, that is another reason. Offenses will result in fall down. Yeah, so we have to be very careful. Yeah, but we have to stick to as much as possible, because when we do Shravanam and if we are true to ourselves, possibly we will understand that I'm not as exalted at all, right? Because
100%. 100%.
so many things Prabhupada is saying in the purport, which I'm sure even pure devotees, I mean, otherwise, why would all these great Vaishnavas hear Prabhupada? I know I've heard from many Maharajas that they start their day with first hearing Srila Prabhupada. Half an hour, maybe even before many devotees, many senior Vaishnavas I've heard, even before they start their chanting, they first hear Prabhupada lecture for half an hour. Mm. Because,
And these are the exalted devotees are so humble, you see. Other day I was seeing one video.
mm,
Raj Maharaj went to Delhi temple.
mm,
And Gopal Krishna was not doing well. He was sitting. He went to
Yeah, yeah,
and
yeah, offered obeisances. Yeah,
offered no, he touched his feet. And Maharaj was not able to get up.
yeah,
Still
yeah,
he got up and touched Narada Swami's feet actually came.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, they are they know their position, right? So one who is in good standing, we can see, right? And anyway, so for us, we have to be very clear. I mean, these great Vaishnavas, we don't even have possibly, not possibly, we definitely don't have the qualification to speak about them. But the important thing is actually just sticking to basics, right? As long as we stick to basics, not do aparad, nama aparad, jiva aparad, Vaishnava aparad, seva aparad, stick to the process, follow rules and regulations, do sadhana properly, then we will remain grounded. And if we remain grounded, then there's a very less chance of us mm, falling down. But the important thing is, see, even just imagine if suppose say the remnants of the pure devotee or his association was not there, we would have fallen off much earlier, right? So that possibly that association would have held those devotees, firmly for some time at least. So that is still the power of association of a pure devotee. Yeah, this is Vamshi Prabhu or Shruti Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
While we are discussing this, I am curious. I don't know if this is the right question. What about uh, their next janma, Prabhu? Like, will their bhakti continue from where they stopped, or
Yeah, yeah.
or due to their sinful activities or whatever sins they perform after falling down, will they get some other uh, animal birth or
Yeah,
whatever?
yeah. Yeah, yeah. So that one, Shastra says that it is left to Krishna. Right? Krishna
Okay.
doesn't never leave his pure devotee. So yeah, what will happen, we cannot say exactly. That totally, it's just person. It's between that Jiva and Krishna, because somebody who had surrendered his life did everything for. In fact, there have been many cases we know where somebody who had left Prabhupada's service after Prabhupada disappeared from this world, uh, but at the end they saw actually Prabhupada in their last stage, and Prabhupada took them.
Hmm.
It is said. So I mean, pure devotees mercy. We we cannot comment on this, but it just completely depends on Krishna, what he wants to
Okay.
do. Okay. So please take remnants of your devotees. Snatch remnants wherever possible. We can even fight for that. No problem. Yeah, okay.
When you ask devotees are going to Puri, to ask somebody to get dry remnants for you and us.
Ah, Maharaj is very, very strict about who can consume remnants also.
I have seen. Actually. Because a lot of time Maharaj stayed with me, so I have seen he's very strict. He's very
Yeah.
strict.
Yeah. So anyway, yeah. But we can try. I'll tell my wife to figure out some way she can get.
I also wanted to ask this question, Prabhu. If
Yeah.
uh, not people like us, not pure devotees, take remnants of those senior Vaishnavas, w- and we keep performing sins, will it affect them?
No, no, no. It won't affect them.
No?
It
Okay.
won't affect them. But it'll affect if you have initiated and you do nonsense, then Guru is affected. But not
Okay.
otherwise. Not generally when we take remnants from Vaishnavas. Actually,
Prabhu,
our propensity to sin will obviously reduce. So
but
don't worry about it.
Prabhu, don't fear. I little different that Guru also when we take his remnants, he also take away our karmas also can be
No,
that
no, I'll
can
say only with the Guru that relationship is different,
yeah.
right? But not with any Vaishnava. Any Vaishnava, when we take their remnants, we are infected. There is no reverse infection, as in they are not affected by us.
That's right.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
can for that way only Guru says, okay, please give to initiated only, don't give to
Correct, correct,
uninitiated.
correct, correct, correct. And Guru has, because Guru also has that responsibility, right? Uh, So some of the gurus who are senior Vaishnavas in guru position, they have certain rules also. Like like Anukul Prabhu is saying, for example, Bhakti Vikas Maharaj doesn't. He says only to his initiated disciples or seriously following, and those who are seriously following bhakti, they can accept like that. So each and every spiritual master, they have their own. Uh, Also they put some conditions, but as far as I've read or heard, they don't get affected, but they have their prerogative, saying that like if somebody firmly like, see, we are going to get infected by their mood. We should understand this, right? If we are willing to get infected by their mood, then we should accept, right? If you don't want their mood, then what is the point in taking the Mahaprasad? So that criteria some gurus might have. But if we are sincere, if we want to simply make progress, like it said here, saying that even without asking, we should take remnants. But we should be sincere to wanting to make progress. Okay, we can stop, I think. Already in 50.
Puri, anybody comes and pick from your plate, what is that actually, Prabhu?
Jagannath Puri. Okay,
Yes.
okay. In Jagannath Puri,
Well, Brahmana also comes and pick your plate and eat second go actually.
yeah, in Jagannath Puri, Lord, it's ordained saying that because it's not, there's nothing material there. It's all spiritual. So there is no concept of Juta in Jagannath Puri. And because they say, like anybody who is in Jagannath Puri, when demigods see them from top, they see 400 form. Mm. So that, and also that prasadam, right, which is actually not different from the Lord. So it is completely spiritual, and they strictly follow that. That actually this should be true anywhere, right? Actually, the prasadam, that's what we are seeing here, right? Prasadam, there's nothing like juta, right? But there it is taken to one more level, where they have really firm faith, saying that irrespective of who has eaten it, it is not contaminated, right? So it's all mercy. Mm. We know in Chaitanya Charitamrita, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya once, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu comes with Mahaprasad, and Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya had just gotten up. He had not even brushed his teeth. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gives the prasadam, and immediately Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya actually honors it. And then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is like very, very happy. He says, "Today you come out of all your Mayavad and all other contamination." And he asks why. Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, he asks him, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu asks him, saying, that, "Why did you do this? You know the rules and regulations in the Shastra." And the Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya just says, saying that whenever anybody gives prasadam, you should not even wait for a moment to eat it, right? Which is why we have to be very careful. Uh, you know, like on Ekadashi, non-Ekadashi prasadam. Actually, there is no difference. There's no difference. But because we are in that Vaidi path, we might have to follow. So it's good not to come in touch with grain prasadam on Ekadashi days. Because if we actually get it, we should not keep it for later. That also becomes like an offense, right? So prasadam is honored, the glories of prasadam. So there they say that it's absolutely it's fully transcendental. Nobody can contaminate it. So even if it is in somebody's plate, it is taken just as good as directly coming from Jagannath. So it's yeah. Okay, okay, we'll stop here.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Yeah, thank
Hare
you.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Dandavat
Hare
Prabhuji.
Krishna, Dandavat. Okay, we'll stop here. We'll continue tomorrow. श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय, जगत गुरु श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय, वांछा कल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिंधुभ्यः नमो नमः। हरे कृष्ण।
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Hare
हरे
Krishna, Prabhu.
कृष्ण, धन्यवाद।